Hey Isaiah, come check out my new fishing pole. Hey Rod, you want to check out my new fishing pole?
Yeah, let's check this bad boy out, man. It's, what is this?
Hey everybody, what's going on? Brendan Miller here, back with another video. I am the first to admit that this particular video idea is a little out there, it's a little weird, and yet I've had this idea bouncing around inside my brain, and so I decided, hey, let's just see if we can make this happen. What idea am I talking about? Well, in this video, I am going to attempt to make a rod and reel combo only using materials and tools from the Dollar General. And then we're gonna take that setup out to the lake and see if we can't catch some fish with it. This is gonna be interesting. So without further ado, let's head to the Dollar General and pick up some supplies. Okay, so the first thing I did was try to create some sort of a handle slash base, and I used this outdoor lamp. As you can see, it's hollow in the center and it creates a nice base. Next I took the paint roller and I broke it down, taking off all the fluffy fur stuff and exposing these two plastic cylinders that spin freely. Next, I took the paint roller and bent it into the proper configuration. As you can see, I used the pliers also to bend it. It was quite difficult. And then I cut a slit in the light, and as you can see, I'm able to insert the paint roller into the light, and that creates a nice little handle for the reel. Next, for the rod, I took these arrows and I cut off all of the tips like so. Next, I inserted wood dowels into the arrows. They fit perfectly, and glued them in place with a little bit sticking out. Now I'm able to actually join two arrows together while keeping one half of the arrows stiffer than the other half. And again, this is going to help with the construction of the rod. Then I went ahead and taped the arrows together in groups of 3, and when I flex it, you can see that the part that has the dowels is stiffer than the part without the dowels. Then I went ahead and repeated this process on up the rod using fewer and fewer arrows until we got to the tip. Next, to finish the reel, I went ahead and took the part of the paint roller and marked it out on these little cup things and cut out circles that would fit. The parts of the paint roller were in 2 separate pieces, so I glued them together to create one rotating cylinder. Then I went ahead and glued these 2 cups together, as you can see, and once they were dry, I went ahead and glued them on the paint roller, and there we have the spool for our reel. Next, I went ahead and glued a bunch of beads together till I got a little string like this. Then I burrowed a hole into the side of the paint rollers and glued a dowel in for the handle of the reel. Then I took a paper clip and fashioned this little piece right here and slid it on the beads like so. Then I went ahead and attached that part to some more wooden dowels to create the finished handle for the reel. To fasten the rod to the section that has the handle and reel, I used hot glue for starters and wooden dowels to reinforce the connection, then finished it off with tape and super glue. Last, I fashioned eyes for the rod out of paper clips that I also got from Dollar General, just twisting them like so, and then doing some final bends to them, and I went ahead and just glued these to the rod. Alright, so the Dollar General Walmart fishing pole is complete. Here it is in all its glory. Let me step back and show you. I mean, look at that. I have a little reel right here. Buttery smooth, as you can see, really great. I'm gonna go ahead and spool it up with some 10-pound test Power Pro braid, because only the best for this thing. We're gonna spool it up. I'm gonna cast with it a little bit here in the yard and make sure it's working, see if I need to make some tweaks to it, and then after that, we're gonna take it to the lake and try and catch some fish. So one of the things that I think turned out the best on this reel is the actual rod. Take a look at this. I'm gonna show you guys. I have line on the rod, and look at how this rod actually bends. It's got a very nice bend to it. Again, stiffer towards the base, and a nice flex towards the tip. This is going to be very useful if I hook a big fish, and it will help with casting. Now, I will say the rod itself is floppy and somewhat heavy and clumsy, but again, I really like the nice rod action that I was able to build into this thing, so that is very awesome. Now, let's try and actually catch this thing. Now, one thing that's going to be a challenge about catching this reel is the fact that it actually free spools either direction, so I can crank it forward, but it also will unwind backwards. So this is going to be tricky. It kind of operates a little bit like a bait caster. One of the things I'm going to use is my finger for a brake, so I'm going to hold my finger on the spool like this, load the rod, and then when I release, I'm going to release my finger and hopefully let the line spool and then stop it with my finger again. That's going to be the strategy when it comes to casting this thing. Again, we'll see how effective that is. All right, here we go. First cast with the reel. Okay, that did not work. Okay, so I need more weight, maybe? It's not casting at all. Okay, so like you saw, this reel does not cast good at all. One of the problems is the spool right here has some wobble to it, so it's not very clean when the line's going out. But the main problem is that this spool is still too stiff, even though it seems fairly loose. So the only way I'm going to get this thing to cast is by adding a lot of weight to it, which seems a little bit sketchy. But nevertheless, let's take this thing to the lake and we'll just kind of figure something out. We'll figure out how to get the bait out into the water. Worst comes to worst, I'll just strip out a bunch of line and then just kind of like yeet the bait out like that. That is one of the things that I was worried about, and my suspicions were confirmed. But nevertheless, we still have a reel that can take in line. We have a rod that can absorb the weight of a fish. Well, at least I think. Let's take this thing out on the water and see if we can catch a fish with it. Hey guys, real quick, just wanted to shout out a secondary channel that I have started. A lot of you may not know this, but I absolutely love playing disc golf. I play multiple times a week. I play with friends and I also play in tournaments, and it's a ton of fun. And so recently, I actually started a disc golf channel with my brother Isaiah. You can click the link right here to check it out. We've only made 2 videos so far. We talk about discs and just have a lot of fun over there. Again, I will link it right here and also in the description. Thanks again. Now back to the fishing. All right, made it out to the lake, got the rod and reel right here. The rig I'm gonna use today is just a simple bobber with a jig head and a live minnow. Gonna be fishing it over this deep pocket right here. Maybe we can get a crappie, a bass, maybe even a hybrid striped bass. That'd be really cool. We're just gonna yeet a minnow out there and see what happens. Let's do it. There you go. Now we wait. Oh, there we go, got hit. Got him. What we got? First fish. First fish on the danky rod right there. Little largemouth bass. Pretty cool. Not super big, but good sign. Oh, came off. No, I still got it. Another fish coming in. It's like micro bass nation down there or what? Another little micro bass. All right, got a bite here. Let's see what we got. Ooh. I don't know if it's huge. Black crappie. Another crappie. Ooh, that's a good one. Beautiful crappie right there. Nice. Well, we've had our first casualty with the reel. The little cranky bit right here came loose. So it no longer has the torque. It just spins. The glue popped on it. So from now on, I'm gonna have to just crank it in like this. Awesome. Like I said, the reel broke, so I gotta do this. Oh, crappie, nice crappie. Really nice crappie right there. So as you guys saw, I was able to catch some fish with this pole, caught those crappie and those 2 bass, and I initially was going to end the video there. However, the video didn't quite feel finished. I felt like I still needed to catch a bigger fish with this setup. So with that in mind, we were back out here at the lake today, and today I'm going to be targeting carp and catfish with the Dollar General fishing setup. If we happen to catch something today, this is going to be very interesting. Okay, for today's fishing session, I'm gonna keep it simple. I have a treble hook here with a couple kernels of corn, and then about 12 inches up from that, I have a small egg sinker with a split shot. Just gonna fish this out on the bottom and see if we can't catch a carp or a catfish, something like that. Got one. What it is. Feels like a carp. Oh boy. Oh, this reel isn't gonna hold up. I can feel it. Yeah. Got him down close to the bank here. Oh yeah. Grab him here. Yes, we did it. We caught a bigger fish with this rod. There you go, guys. Beautiful carp right there. Maybe goes 2.5, 3 pounds. Whew. Awesome. The Dollar General fishing rod does it. I'm gonna put this bait back out and see if we can get one more before I leave, but that is a success. All right, you got a fish, guys. I thought he had gotten off. For sure, I don't know what this is. Oh, cripes, it's just taking line like crazy. I don't know if it's a catfish or a carp or what. I'm just hopefully this reel can hold up. It's coming this way. Oh, I don't know what this is. Is it a cat? It's fighting really aggressive. More like a cat than a carp, but... Ooh, oh, it's a carp, it's a carp. Sick. Sick. Let's go, dude. Yeah, a little bigger than the last one. Oh. That was funny. That thing took line originally, then the line stopped moving, so I thought he had dropped it. So when I went to crank in my line, it took off again, so he must have just been chilling down there. Look at that. Beautiful carp right there, a little bigger than the last one. Got him right in the corner of the mouth. Whew. I tell you what, that's a rush. Awesome fish. Boom, let's go. 2 carp on this piece of junk. That, my friends, is a success. I'll take that any day of the week. So guys, there you have it. I was indeed able to catch a fish with this particular fishing pole. I have to say, this was one of the most frustrating experiences I've had fishing in a long time. I generally consider myself a fairly patient person. However, trying to use this pole and catch fish with it was very, very maddening. The biggest problem I had is the fact that sometimes the line would slip off the actual spool and get wrapped around this metal part right here. And then you had an absolute nightmare trying to untangle this from here without cutting your line. It was absolutely maddening. Couple that with actually trying to cast smoothly without flinging the minnow off your hook. But I think after today, I'm going to retire this pole. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to see more random, weird builds like this, let me know down in the comments below. Like I said, this was a ton of fun to make, even though it was rather frustrating to fish with. It was still fun. It's also good to be back on YouTube. I've been absent for a couple of months, but I am back in the swing of things. I have a couple videos coming down the pike after this one, and I'm very excited about those, so stay tuned for those. Again, thank you so much for watching, and as always, this is Brendan Miller. Stay hooked. I'll see you later.